Hello friends, my name is Jess and welcome back to my channel, Books Past Bedtime. In today's video, we're going to be doing an ultimate fall reading vlog. So excited for this video. So basically, we're going to read fall books and do fall activities. We're not only going to go to a pumpkin patch, we're going to go apple picking, we're going to bake cookies, we might go to a coffee shop, we're going to go hiking in a national park, we're going to read some fall themed books. What is a fall themed book, you might ask? I am planning to read some cozy fantasy and some sapphic and some sapphic witchy romances, maybe something else. I haven't decided yet. I do have a vampire book that's on my Kindle that I might read. We'll see. But my definite TBR are these 3 books. So let's talk about those really quick before we get into the actual vlog so you'll have an idea of what we'll be reading in this video. So I definitely would like to read The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry by C.M. Wagner. I believe that this is a cozy, witchy, sapphic fantasy, and I'm very excited for this one. And I think I got it in a blind date with a book, and I've been wanting to read it, and this is just the perfect time. This is the perfect time to read a sapphic, witchy, cozy fantasy, right? Another cozy fantasy I want to get to is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. I feel like this is a book everyone has been reading in their ultimate fall book videos, especially last year. It's just very popular. It's another sapphic, cozy fantasy following an orc and I think she's a succubus who open a coffee shop together, and it just sounds lovely and wonderful and I can't wait to read it. And then last but not least, on my absolute TBR, I am going to be reading The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. This is another sapphic, witchy romance fantasy situation type of deal. And I think this one is cool because it has a curse where the honey witch is someone that cannot fall in love. For some reason there's some kind of curse situation happening, but then she meets someone that she falls in love with or wants to fall in love with or something. So I think that this one sounds good and perfect for this time of year as well, and I love the cover. It's so beautiful. So I'm very excited for this one. Very excited for all 3 of these. Can't wait to read them all. I think they're going to be so perfect for this fall season. Now that the weather's cooling down, I can't wait. I'm so excited, and I will keep you updated when I read and if I read anything else and on the activities that we do. So let's go ahead and get going. I decided to start this vlog with The Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry, and it's good so far. I am currently 158 pages in, so I'm maybe 35-40% of the way through, 375 I think. So gotten a good bit into it to kind of get a first impression, so I figured I would update you guys. I'm really enjoying this one. It's very fun, it's very fall, it's exactly what I was looking for. So in this book we're following our main character Deli. Deli is a fire witch, and she's also a bit down on her luck. She needs to pay her rent. This does take place in a fantasy world, but it's based on Regency London, so it feels familiar at the same time. It's kind of, I think, what I would call low fantasy, and that it feels mostly like it's set in our world, but there is magic. There is kind of some differences of language a little bit, but it feels more Regency than fantasy. It's kind of a fun setting and very it feels like a cozy fantasy, but it has higher stakes. So that's why I say low fantasy. So I'm really liking that vibe because I'm not sure I'm totally a cozy fantasy person. I feel like I need a little bit of something happening, and there definitely is a little bit of something happening in this book. So basically, like I said, Deli is down on her luck, and so she sees this job posting for this high society lady who's looking for magical people, basically be her retinue of bodyguards leading up to her wedding because somebody is threatening to kill her. So even though Deli is not very well qualified for this job, she decides to apply for it, and they were looking for a fire witch. She kind of elects herself into this position, but she joins this retinue, this motley crew of magical ladies who are protecting this other woman. They kind of start to solve the mystery of who has it out for this woman and why. The perpetrator was revealed fairly early on, but we're still in the midst of the mystery uncovering why and the perpetrator has also disappeared. So they're also trying to find the perpetrator, figure out why they were perpetrating this crime. There's also a little bit of a romance in here between Deli and one of the other ladies in the bodyguard group. This is sapphic. We love a sapphic book, obviously, around here. The romance is with Win, who is an illusionist, and she's also part troll, so that is fun as well. But Win is very like golden retriever vibes. Like, she is so sweet. She's like very steadfast and steady and loyal, just like adores Deli. And Deli is kind of a chaotic main character. She's kind of all over the place. You kind of like don't know what she's gonna do next. She's very like scrappy because of how she kind of grew up, and she really is like honestly trying to improve her station in life. That is initially kind of the reason why she's like trying to hook Win, but I think she's kind of starting to come to terms with the fact that Win is more than just a way to improve her station. Win is actually like an amazing catch and could be like the love of her life. So there's a fun romance plot going on. There's a fun mystery plot going on. The world is cool. I like the magic. It's very like easy to understand. The writing style is was a little bit difficult for me to like get into like a flow state of reading, and I think that's more to do with like the Regency style language than anything like content wise. Yeah, I'm really having a lot of fun with this one. I'm really enjoying it. Deli and Win just kind of had their first romantic interaction like right before I stopped reading, so I definitely want to dive back into that and see where their relationship progresses. But yeah, I'm having so much fun. This one feels so fall. It's like the perfect cozy book to like curl up and read. And I'm on a layover here in Raleigh, and it's kind of gloomy, a little rainy, so it is like perfect time for me to keep reading this. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep making my way through this one, and I will update you with my final thoughts when I'm finished. Hi friends, I do have a reading update. I finished the Ruthless Lady's Guide to Wizardry. I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was just a really fun, like cozy read. This is actually so perfect for me because it was really a good cozy fantasy, but it still had stakes. There was still a plot going on, a mystery to be solved, like something happening, and it wasn't just like a silly mystery. It was like a real mystery with some consequences if it wasn't solved. And so I really enjoyed that because it had the like fun, like cozy vibes of cozy like fantasy. It was still high stakes enough to keep me turning the pages, to keep me interested, to keep me reading. So I really appreciated that, and I really enjoyed that, and I thought that was just like perfect for me and perfect for this video. And I also really enjoyed our characters. Like, I really loved Deli and I really loved Win. They were just really cute together, and I did really like how their relationship developed. And Deli kind of goes into it like, oh, I'm gonna seduce Win because she has money and I'm gonna be like make my way up in the world, but you could really see how much she came to care about and respect Win, so much so that she kind of self-sabotages, and that's like the third act conflict, and Win has to be like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to improve your station, Deli. I can tell that you actually like me and I actually really like you, so let's just be together. Like, stop being stupid. So I really enjoyed their relationship and their dynamic and their banter and just the way that they interacted. I thought it was super cute. Win is very much like kind of a golden retriever type of character, and Deli is kind of like Black Cat-esque. Like, she's kind of feisty and spunky and like wily. So they made a really interesting pairing, and I really liked them together. And I really liked the other characters in this book. There is really good like dialogue and just characterization in this book too. Like, I found myself laughing a lot, which I always enjoy in a book. There were just some really funny moments. I really had a great time with this one. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done and really fun. We love sapphic witches around here too, so that was always going to be a plus. Yeah, and I really haven't ever heard anyone talk about this, and I thought it was really good. Very underrated, but excellent. Like, I really enjoyed it, so would recommend. And then I've also started my second book for this vlog, and that is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This is a story about Viv the Orc, and Viv the Orc has been basically doing orc things for her entire life, like going out, battling people, going on missions, achieving things, etc. But she's no longer happy doing this. She wants to move on to something new, and that something new is opening a coffee shop. Problem is, like, not a lot of people in this world have heard of coffee, so she kind of is very much doing like a ground roots like new thing, and she really has no idea like how to run a business or how to run a coffee shop, but she is determined to make things work. So that's what she's doing. She has set up shop in this small town, and she's hired her first 2 employees to try and help her get this off the ground. The other character on this cover, her name is Tandri. She is Viv's first employee and basically is like hired to help make the coffee, help sell the coffee, but she actually has a really good brain for like marketing and stuff too, so she's really helping Viv out a lot. I really like their dynamic. It's really cute. I'm hoping there might be a little bit of romance, but I'm not sure if there is or not. So either way, it's okay. This is definitely super cozy, a super quick read, super fun. I am really enjoying myself. I was a little bit worried that it would be too low stakes for me, but so far it's been really fun. Sometimes I think maybe I need a little bit of lower stakes, and this book is still like interesting. Like, things are going on, like there is a plot. It's just not life or death. It's just not a life or death plot. It's really cute so far. I've really liked all the characters we've met. I've really liked this fantasy world and getting to know all of the different types of people that live in this fantasy world, and it's so cozy and fun and lovely. I'm having a great time. So I currently am 104 pages into this book. I'm on chapter 12. It's actually a lot shorter than I thought it was too, because there's like a different story in the back. So it's only like 250 pages. So hopefully I will fly through this one tomorrow. I have a flight. I'm flying to Las Vegas. So that will give me plenty of time to read, and this book is the plan. So I will update you once I am finished. I am going on a road trip across Utah, flying into Vegas and then driving up to Utah and going to like Zion and Arches. There's 4 parks that we're going to. I can't remember them all right at the second, but very excited for that, and I figured I would include some footage of that in this vlog, and yeah, it'll be fun. So I hope you guys will enjoy that as well, and let's go. Hello friends, I finished Legends and Lattes yesterday and I really liked this cozy story. It was so cute. It was really fun and I feel like it definitely lived up to the hype. I wasn't sure how I would feel about a cozy fantasy, as I do usually like some stakes, but I ended up really enjoying it. I thought it was really good, really well done. I really loved the 2 main characters, Viv and Tandri. I thought that they were super cute. I do wish there had been a little bit more romance, but it was really just very like much about friendship and found family and finding a place, and it was so warm and cozy and gave me lots of nice lovely feelings. I really enjoyed it a lot, and there was like a dash of romance, but yeah, overall it was like a super well written story. It was super short. It was only like 250 pages. The book is like a little misleading because there's like extra stuff in it. But yeah, I thought it was really cute. I liked the cozy aspect of it, and I do think that it had like enough of a plot and things happening to keep me entertained, as well as just like good vibes, good writing, good characters. I do love a queer found family, and that's definitely the vibes that were going on in this story too. And yeah, it was just like the perfect fall read. It really truly was. I really enjoyed it. I think I'm gonna end up giving it 4 stars. Like, I don't think it's gonna be a new favorite, and I don't think it's gonna like stick with me long term, but I really enjoyed it. I really liked it, and I would definitely recommend, especially for this time of year. Hello friends! I've started reading my next book for this vlog, which is The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. This is like a cozy fantasy. We're following our main character, Marigold, who has kind of felt like she's never belonged, never fit in. Turns out she's a witch. So her family has kind of been hiding this from her for a long time to like protect her. Her mother like gave up being a witch and wanted the same for her daughter because she thinks it's like too dangerous. But her grandmother comes and is like, yo, I'm dying. I'm a honey witch. I need you to take over for me as the next honey witch. So Marigold kind of jumps at this opportunity because, like I said, she hasn't felt like she's ever belonged. She doesn't want the life that her parents want for her. So she's gonna set off with her grandmother to kind of figure out what being a honey witch means and make her own way in the world. So that's the premise of this book. And also there's kind of like one catch with being a honey witch, and that means that you're cursed to never be able to fall in love, or like no one can fall in love with you. I'm a little unclear on the parameters of the curse, but that's the gist of it. That's the gist of this book. That's what we're about. I was kind of expecting like a cozy, whimsical fantasy, and I think this book is trying to be that. I don't want to sound too harsh because this book isn't bad. I just don't think it's that good. The writing kind of subpar. What am I trying to say? It's written in a way that I haven't been able to like lose myself in the story. Like I haven't been able to like forget that I'm reading and like be fully immersed, because like the language or the dialogue or something will just jar me out of it, and I'm like, The writing, there's just something off about the writing for me. It doesn't flow well, like it's kind of clunky, it's very descriptive, there's words, it's very like wordy in a way that doesn't need to be there. And so I am kind of struggling to get into the story because of the writing. And I also don't think Marigold as a main character is really fleshed out. I really don't understand who she is, other than she is like doesn't want to get married. She is very like black and white in her thinking. There's no nuance to her character, I think is what I'm trying to say. And also like I feel like we get a lot of interactions with other characters in the book and they seem real-ish, and Marigold just seems like a very flat, very basic kind of character. So there's not like much to her, or at least I don't understand her or like her personality, what she's about. She's just kind of there, which is not what you want in a main character. So I'm struggling with that as well. I do like the setting and I do like the descriptions. I like the concept of like a honey witch. It's very like brewing spells and potions kind of witchery, which I think is cool and pretty different from what I am used to reading. So I do kind of like that classic like take on a witch. So I'm enjoying that aspect of it, and it feels very fitting for the fall season and like Halloween. Halloween is this week, so I am enjoying it. It's like a beautiful book, and I'm interested to see where it goes. We've just kind of started to get into what I think is going to be the romance. There's a sapphic romance in this book, but again, I don't understand the parameters of like this cursed to not be able to fall in love thing, because it seems like her grandmother had somebody who was in love with her and she was in love with them even if they weren't like together. I mean, it's a romance book. I'm not really clear on how the curse is going to play into it. It seems like it's just made up. It seems like it's just something they think is happening, but it's not really real, which, well, it's kind of weird. I don't know. I don't really understand. And also the love interest is very, very prickly. Like I do like a prickly love interest, but she's just kind of mean. And it's kind of hard to understand why anyone likes her or why our main character is attracted to her other than physically. I don't know. I'm having like mixed feelings about this book. It's kind of been difficult for me to get through. I'm kind of hoping it starts to pick up now that the romance is starting to get more involved. So I'm hopeful for the direction that this book goes in. I don't think that it's going to be a new favorite just because I'm having so much trouble with the writing style. I don't foresee that like drastically improving in any way. So yeah, I don't know. It's okay so far. I'm gonna finish it. Like it's good enough to finish. I want to see what happens. I want to see how the romance blossoms, and I'm hoping for some good fluttery butterfly romancy feelings, but hopefully it gets better by the end. I don't know. I'll keep you updated. I'm gonna finish it probably today or tomorrow, and then I will give you my final thoughts. Hello, I'm here to wrap up this video. So I did finish reading Honey Witch by Sydney Shields. It didn't really get better. I really wanted it to get better. I really wanted to love it, but unfortunately I just did not love this one. It was mostly the writing that didn't work for me. It felt like just I don't know if this makes sense, but it felt like just reading words on a page and not like getting lost in a story. I just couldn't get over the writing the whole time. I felt very disconnected from the world, from the characters, from everything that was happening. I think that I marked a page. I'm gonna read you this line of dialogue, and hopefully you can kind of understand what I mean by the writing just feeling like disjointed. It just kept drawing me out of the story every time. Like, no one talks like this. So one of the characters says, "I'm sorry, I must have misheard. Did Lottie Burke almost admit to being wrong in her behavior?" August says, and Lottie shoves him nearly into the pool. He catches his balance in time and says, "This is unheard of. Tell me, Lots, what has prompted such an admittance?" Like, no one talks like that. And also the descriptions of the action are very difficult for me to imagine. It's everything like happens very quickly and like not, it's like there's so many words on the page that are not necessary, but what's described like isn't described enough. I don't know, the writing just didn't work for me, basically. I don't know if you can tell what I'm talking about from that line, but I feel like that's a good, at least, example of how poorly the dialogue was written. Like, no one talks like that. And I feel like this book just couldn't really decide what it wanted to be, because like from that dialogue it kind of seems like, oh, maybe this is kind of old-timey Regency, and like I feel like the way the characters talked and the way they dressed suggested some kind of Regency type situation going on, but that was really it, because this world is like queer normative and also a fantasy world. And I don't think the magic system was described well enough, because it seems like a lot of people that know about magic, but also magic is supposed to be secret, and then there's some people that don't believe in magic yet they know about it. So I didn't really understand that. There's just like too many puzzle pieces, too many things that weren't tied up. I feel like this book needed more editing, a more refined writing style, and just to tie up like some loose ends. I don't know. It just wasn't my perfect book. I think I'm gonna end up giving it 2.5 stars. It wasn't horrible, and I think there was some good here, and I just don't think that it was fully realized. So yeah, although it did give like cozy, fun, cozy fantasy fall vibes, so it did fit with the theme, but yeah, just not my favorite. But that is our ultimate fall reading vlog wrapped up. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for taking time out of your day to spend a little bit with me. I really appreciate you being here. If this is your first time visiting my channel, or if you're not already, I would appreciate you subscribing down below. I post all kinds of bookish content, reading pretty much exclusively queer books, so if that's something that interests you, I would appreciate you sticking around. Other ways to support this channel: like this video, leave me a comment in the description. Also, if you're interested in purchasing any of these books, I do have affiliate links in the description. I earn a tiny commission through these at no additional cost to you, but of course no pressure, just there if you would like it. You can also follow me on social media. Those links are in the description as well. And I think that is all for me today, so thank you again for being here, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.